Welcome back. We're geeking out over the bright side of robots this morning. 3 ways they can make your life a little bit easier. Our gadget guru, Drew Kozub, joins us from Winnipeg. Drew, good morning. You good?
Good morning, Sid. Yes, I'm so good. I've been looking forward to this robot segment for weeks because whether you're trying to learn some new skills or just manage up on your household tidying, robots are there to help.
All right, we have 3 here for you today. Let's dive into the first one. And if you have a cat who needs to do a number 1 or a number 2, we have the Robot 4.
That's right. Litter Robot 4 is going to make your life so much better. You love your cat, but the downside is you have to clean up after it. This is a smart litter box that makes it so you never have to scoop litter again. You fill the device with litter. It senses when your cat has used the litter robot. Shout out to Fievel for being the willing model to demonstrate this. Don't worry, I cut away before anything really bad happened. After the cat uses it, it cycles to filter out the clean litter and then deposit the waste in a collection drawer below. We have 2 cats, and we went from manually cleaning the litter 2 to 3 times a day to now emptying it once a week on garbage day. It also connects to the Whisker app, which can tell you when the device is almost full. It can also measure your cat's weight, which can be very helpful. And for the times that your cat may not be feeling good and you actually have to pay attention to how often they're going to use the litter box, you can look at the history to see how often it is going. It comes in 2 different color options, so you can find one that fits the style of your home.
The thought of getting a notification if my cat goes to the washroom is rather interesting. But it's also handy for people. All right, so our rating system today, out of 5 robot overlords, what's the rating for this, Drew?
This one gets a 5 out of 5
Whoa!
robot overlords. My disclaimer with this is once you've had a robotic litter box, you cannot go back. It's a one-way street. Your life has changed for the better forever.
It's interesting. I'm still going au naturel with mine. I'll spare you the rest of the details, but maybe one day I'll jump in. That's 5 out of 5. It's a good review. All right, next up, Drew, Amazon, to the surprise of no one, is jumping in on this as well.
Yeah, AWS Deep Racer. This is a tiny little race car that you can program for races on a real track. So the idea is it teaches anyone who wants to learn these skills, developer skills, and help them understand machine learning, more specifically reinforcement learning, but it's giving them a fun project to work on to build these skills. So you build these models in a simulator, you train and test your little car, and then you get to use it to race. Some people even go so far as to join leagues. They're competing for a championship cup. So it is an educational experience, but it is also a wonderful hobby. Free to start, and then you can need a membership to save and store your work. The vehicles come with a built-in camera too. It is a very slick and fun and futuristic hobby.
All right, so out of 5 robot overlords that aren't that intimidating, what's the rating you gave it?
A 4.5 out of 5. I think generative AI and machine learning are definitely skills for the future, and this is a fun way to learn those skills and put them to work on something that you're going to enjoy.
Awesome. All right, last but not least, for people who want some clarity in their lives, what do you have?
Yeah, so this is the Fmart T8 window cleaning robot. It is a little robot window washer. So on the bottom of this robot, there's these oscillating discs, and they're covered by these removable cleaning pads. And it slowly works its way across the surface of a window. So it can automatically find its way to the corners, and then it systematically works its way down the length of the window. If it's getting a little bit lost, there's a remote control, so you can redirect it. Now, there's a more expensive version, so you don't have to spray your window like I was doing there, and it has a built-in reservoir. I think that might be a little bit handier, but there's a limitation on this one. It has to be plugged in. It does have a rechargeable battery, but that's more like a safety feature, so that if you lost power, your robot wouldn't fall off the window. So depending on the length of the window and how close that is to a plug, that could be a limitation. I would certainly not say that this is faster or better than doing it yourself, but for some people who maybe have mobility reasons for wanting to do this, it could be handy for that.
So it's a window Roomba, essentially, is what you're selling me here.
Exactly, window Roomba, but with the Roomba, you get to like set it and forget it. This thing, like, you're watching, making sure it's doing its job, so it's a little more labor intensive.
You have to what? Make sure it's behaving itself? Is it
Well, yeah, I didn't trust it the first time, and like, I think it's gonna start slacking if I'm not watching.
You know what?
It's gonna miss spots, so.
Drew, I love you, and I'm gonna stop with the editorial judgments. because your rating is the only rating that matters. Out of 5 robot overlords, what's the rating?
So it's a 2.5 out of 5.
All right.
Again, I don't know if it's better than doing it yourself, but it is an option if this is something you're interested in.
Okay, hard pass on that for me. Thank you, Drew. Really appreciate it. Let's recap here. Out of 15 robot overlords, as we buffer, boom goes the dynamite. 12 out of 15. There's some great stuff out there, electronics-wise, robot-wise. Other stuff, I'm not sure about, but as always, Drew Kozub sums it all up nicely. Drew, have a great week. Take care, brother.
So long, Sid.